Yeah. And even if there is a new construction project, to your point, the cost basis is so high, so much higher than your Class B value add acquisition that their minimum rents, I mean, they're really lifting the tide in terms of rental rates, and then it's proving that your property is just that much more affordable. And so there may, over time, even immediately, be the ability to increase rates just a little bit, which I think is super helpful. And you're right. I mean,
I definitely love developers. Developers are always pushing the rents further. So I welcome new development.
Yeah, developers, gluttons for punishment. I speak from experience. I mean, what else should we know about your competitive advantage? I think is also that everything is in house from the tenant experience perspective. Also, you have a very flat organization. The buck stops with you. You can make decisions very quickly, flat organization. I'm sure you're very open with employees, like, hey, if there's an issue, bring it to me. But with that comes a ton of pressure. And do you ever feel that pressure being, you're not a one-man show, you've got a big team, but being the lead on everything, how do you deal with that?
So it's hard. But a couple of years ago, I really got intentional. This was probably 8 years in, about hiring the best people. I wanted to build an organization that's much bigger than myself. And even today, I don't think we're a large organization, but it's a lot bigger than just myself. So like our director of operations, Steve Kreitzar, he joined about 2 years ago, and he's done an amazing job, a phenomenal job of bringing on the right team members, and then also helping the organization mature to where we have, the systems in place to make it a little less stressful. But you're absolutely right that, we have a flat organization in the sense that, anyone can really reach out to anyone, including myself, if there's a need for it. I didn't really touch on our advantage. So we do have a few advantages that work in our favor and with our broader strategy. So today we're at about 1,000 apartments, and the goal is 3,000, give or take, in the next 5 years. We're not going to buy deals just to buy deals, but I just see an opportunity based on the assets that we've looked at previously or the type of assets that we target. I see an opportunity to get to that 3,000 mark. And our goal is really to roll up these assets that are too small for the larger groups that have a lower cost of capital and package them as a portfolio to trade to the groups that have a lower cost of capital. And this is 5 years to get to that unit count, but I'm talking like a 10-year vision to actually exit and, move into other deals or maybe do the same thing in another part of town. So what we're doing is we're buying the assets and then we're managing in-house. We're vertically integrated. No third-party management, again, because that's a part of our competitive advantage. We're running the assets with central leasing. So you could call and get information on any of our communities. Central maintenance. So our maintenance team operates like a home services company. You come to the headquarters and load up your vehicle, and then you hit the communities you need to hit. And then also shared responsibilities with our portfolio manager, marketing manager, finance manager, who are all awesome people, but just shared responsibilities in terms of it's not like you're only focused on this one property, because the property size that we buy is just not large enough to sustain a full on-site team. And you're nodding your head because I know you're set up in a similar way. Yeah. And that's really where we're spotting opportunities to buy, because you don't have, the large player that has everything down to a science buying in this space because they can't operate our assets. When we have, 600 apartments to sell them here and then another 600 in another place and so on and so forth, I think they'll be able to digest the deals at that point. And then, I'm not betting on this, but I also think technology is making access to data and your operations easier every year. It's not easy, but it's becoming easier. I think AI is going to be huge in helping with that as well. So I feel like the smaller deal size 10 years from now is going to be a lot more palatable for a large group to take on.